Saint George, who's a martyr, and also of Saint Adalbert, bishop and martyr. So, happy feast days. I know we do have a Saint Adalbert's parish, but I don't think we have a Saint George. So, but all those under the patronage of Saint George. Happy feast day. Let's see. We do have evening prayer coming up on tomorrow evening, Friday evening at 6:30 p.m. And then also, too, Mass will be streamed on Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. And then over the weekend, the church will be open from 1 to 4:30 on Saturday. Confessions are available from 3 to 4:30. And then the church will be open at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sunday. So, please, if you want to make it stop in, those times are available. As I was, one of the advantages, I guess, of having kind of this quarantine, this stay-at-home time, is I listen to Annunciation Radio a lot more than I got a chance to. Mostly in the mornings, I will admit that. But I hear more of these programs in the morning that I just hear snippets of or small sections of while I'm getting ready most of the time when I'm on my regular schedule, because then I'm having Mass, going over to church, whatever, and then coming down into the office. So that's been quite an advantage. There was a mention today, and I'm not even sure which program. Like I said, I kind of move in and out of them, but during the morning. But one mentioned some information, some pictures that are and stories on a website called Church Pop. I've used that before. They have some very interesting little articles and different pictures that they post. But it is churchpop.com. But it was a couple different, you might want to say, miraculous things that are being reported and shown. There was a live stream Mass from Mexico this past Sunday, Divine Mercy Sunday. And in the corner of the sanctuary, there was a large image of the Divine Mercy. And during the live stream, you could see how on the Divine Mercy image from Jesus' heart, there are those rays that come forward, and they were extending out in front of the altar. It's pretty striking to see the screen grabs that are there. I didn't watch the entire video, but I just went and looked right before I started doing this update, and it's like right on their homepage. So if you put churchpop.com in, you'll get, that's what is at the top of their page, is that image. And so that was very interesting to see. And then also too, the bishop in Italy, I can't remember excuse me, I can't remember which church they have the crown of thorns at, but he reported that the thorns changed colors over this past weekend. So there's that story too, and he has pictures of kind of a before and after. So these kind of miraculous things that happen, and they do continue to happen, are good reminders of us of our connection between heaven and earth. And in a way, I thought it kind of dovetailed very nicely with today's gospel. We're continuing Jesus' conversation with Nicodemus, and he speaks about the fact that the one who comes from above is above all, the one who is of earth is earthly. Excuse me. It speaks of earthly things, but the one who comes from heaven is above all. And this, we always have to remember, too, that our faith tells us that in Jesus Christ we have this connection between heaven and earth. Sometimes in the faith there is this, this tendency, I guess you would say, to pull the spiritual and the earthly apart from each other. And sometimes even, too, passages like this, or St. Paul has some passages that talk about, the bodies of no avail, the spirit is what you need, leads people to think that, there's kind of this separation. But it's not what our faith tells us. And many times I think, these miraculous things that happen are evidence for us that, there is this connection between the heavenly and the earthly, and that we too are a combination of body and soul, and that, one, we don't just focus on one and say that the other doesn't make any difference. And so that's, I think, sometimes seeing these little images or these phenomenon, these miracles, can help to remind us that we are more than just, a body. We have a body and a soul, and that they work together. That's how God has created us, and so they're both very important. And so during, at all times. What we do with our bodies is very important because it reflects upon our soul, and our spiritual lives have their effect in our bodily life too. So I think we always want to find that balance and keep both of those things in mind as we continue to strive to live the new life of the resurrection that God bestows upon us. So that's always a good reminder to us that our faith is lived. It's not just a mental exercise. It's not even just a spiritual feeling, but it's a way of life. And that includes then how our bodies are involved in how we live our way of life. So again, we do have evening prayer on tomorrow evening at 6:30 live streamed, and then Sunday Mass 8:30 a.m. On live stream. And then again, as I said, the church will be open on Saturday. Saturday from 1 to 4:30, confessions from 3 to 4:30, and then Sunday from 10 to 2. Well, thank you all for tuning in. I'll continue to keep you in my prayers. Please pray for me. And as we pray for each other, we'll make sure that we do everything we can to keep our bodies healthy and our spirits healthy. So may God bless you this day.